had this story in my collection of wild stories to tell for the longest time, and I think I'm ready. Like, I think I'm officially ready to take that step on this channel. This is the goat story. Hey everybody, it's Ruby. I literally look like an egg right now. I have absolutely like no makeup on my face right now. I'm in like my big oversized Spirit jersey. It's currently like 11:30 at night, and I just want to film this video because I feel like this kind of video deserves a casual atmosphere, if that makes any sense. For the longest time, I have been requested to start making story time videos because I know that that's kind of like a really big thing that slowly started to become very popular on YouTube. Honestly though, I really feel like I don't have that many like funny stories to tell, like funny or exciting stories that would like be funny or exciting to like the general public, and I'm not gonna be one of those YouTubers who's gonna pull in viewers by doing the whole clickbait thing because that's just not me at all. However, I do have one story that I've been wanting to tell for forever on this channel, and so I thought tonight should be the night. So without further ado, let's just get into the story time video. But this story in particular, literally all of my friends like basically know this story. Like when you're good friends with me, you have heard this story. This is kind of like the Ruby story to tell. So I figure, you know what, I've already embarrassed myself by like telling all my friends this story, so like why not just embarrass myself on the internet and let all of my internet friends know too. So this story takes place in the 7th or 8th grade. I want to say it takes place in the 7th grade. I know it took place in middle school, but middle school was just kind of like a blur of like multiple years kind of like meshed together. But I think that this happened in 7th grade, so I would have been 12 years old. So yes, middle school is already a very hard time. But for some reason, especially for Ruby, middle school was just a time for like the weirdest and the randomest situations. So for like middle school at my school, 7th and 8th grade was middle school. And at the end of the year, we always took like a big trip. So 8th grade, we went to Washington, D.C. And 7th grade, for the first year ever in like my school's history, we decided to go to a heifer farm. So we all get on this bus. It's like at the end of the year, it's 7th grade. It's like a week until school gets out. And we all get on this bus, drive, I kid you not, like 7 hours to this heifer farm. And when I say heifer farm, it was associated and partnered with Heifer International. So that's why I'm calling it a heifer farm, because that's what all the employees called it. So if you guys know anything about me, you know that I am a city girl. I live in New York for half the year. I am like urban city girl. I do not do a lot of nature. If I'm going to do nature, it better have skyscrapers surrounding it, and it better not have any bugs. So naturally, I was not super thrilled when I heard that we were going to a heifer farm for my 7th grade like final trip, because like all my other friends at their schools were going to like Disney World, Disneyland, New York, DC, and I was going out into nature and doing like my least favorite thing in the world, which was camping. So we get to the farm. It's hot as heck because it's like end of May and it's like really hot and humid, and we get to this farm. We're gonna stay 2 nights at the farm. So the first night we stay in this like cabin, like this open cabin, which was fun because everybody was like together, and like, you know, I shared like a bunk bed with like one of my best friends at the time, and it was like, that part was fun. That part was fine. I was like, okay, this is camping. I can do this kind of camping. But then they switch it up on us. So the second night of the program, they put us in this kind of like immersive program that's supposed to help us feel what it's like to live in a third world country, which in theory is not a bad idea. However, I just think that you can never really recreate that, but I was going along with it. I was like, okay, you know what, like I understand what they're trying to get us to do. They're trying to like get us to kind of be grateful for what we have and experience kind of what other people are going through around the world. Okay, I can live with that. So needless to say, that night of camping was not in a log cabin. We were outside in the dirt underneath the stars. That was pretty, but every other aspect of it was just like not super fun. And I'm not trying to say that like I'm some stuck up spoiled girl that only likes to sleep in like her bed, blah blah blah. Like no. I absolutely understand what they were trying to do. However, it was just not the greatest experience. Part of the like program itself was we were given like very little food, and we had to like cook it and make it ourselves, but none of the kids kids in my class, we were all like 12 and 13. None of us knew how to like start a proper fire. We couldn't get a proper fire started, so we all like didn't eat that night. We were all very cranky. We were hungry, so I wasn't in the best mood. We go to bed that night and like it wasn't a great night's sleep. We were all like kind of sleeping in the dirt. Looking back on it, it's kind of really funny. And it's a funny story to tell, but in the moment I was not a happy camper, no pun intended. But the next morning we get up and the plan was we were going to be separated into groups to like do chores around the farm, and then we were gonna like have kind of a group discussion about how that was, and then pack up and like drive all the way back to home. So we get up the next morning super early, which was fine, but we get paired off into like teams of 2 to go do chores around the farm. And I happened to be paired with my best friend at the time, which was like super fun because we were like, okay, yay, besties, doing our thing. We are then told that our job is to go feed the goats. Now, I am super excited because I love animals. Goats have always been one of those animals that have just like fascinated me. I feel like I was maybe a goat in a past life or something. But the point is, me and my friend were just totally psyched. Oh, and not only did we get to feed the goats, we also got to feed the rabbits. So we feed the rabbits, they like give us like food and water for them. It's great. We're like petting the rabbits. I think one of them like pooped in my friend's hand, but that's fine. Hanging with the rabbits, and then we're like, okay, we better go like feed these goats because I'm sure that they're hungry. So we get to this goat like pen, I guess. I don't even know if that's like the right word. But the area that the goats were like contained in was like a pretty large field surrounded by like a wooden fence. There's like a little door, but there's like a little door at like the end of the fence. We like open it, we get into the pen, and all these goats come like walking up to us, you know, goating around like they do. And I'm just mesmerized because I'm like, okay, like this trip has not been the greatest, but like, look, I have these goats. Everything's going to be okay. So we feed them their food, we give them their water, and then like our instructions were to wait until they were like all done with the food and the water, and then like pick up like the containers that they came in and like take them back to like home base of the farm. As the goats are like drinking their water and eating their food, there's this one goat who is staring at me and my friend, but particularly me, and like making noises, just kind of staring at me and going like bah, which I know that's like a sheep sound, but like it kind of sounded like a sheep. Maybe it was like a special goat, maybe it was like a sheep goat or something, I don't know, but it's looking at me and making these like strange noises. I'm like, okay, either it's like really fascinated with me or it kind of hates me. All I know is then all of a sudden the goat starts to chase me. I kid you not, this goat takes off and starts to chase me around the pen. My best friend is standing there like laughing hysterically, thinking it's so funny. Meanwhile, I am terrified for my life because I'm this little 12-year-old female getting chased by a goat, and all the other ones are just like standing around looking at me like, man, look at this girl, she's getting chased by that goat. I have no idea what's going on. I start running around the pen. Stupid Ruby doesn't even think, Ruby, just go for the door and then like get out of the pen. No. I'm like running in circles around this pen. Like honestly, I felt like I was being punked. I was being filmed. Just like, it didn't seem like this could actually be happening to me. I'm like kind of outrunning the goat, kind of not. And finally this goat catches up to me. I don't know any other way to say this. I've kind of like, I've told it the same way every time I've told this story, so like, I'm sorry for like the one language word that's about to be in this sentence. The goat finally catches up to me, and the goat bit my ass. I guess it's because he thought I was a threat. To protect himself, this goat takes a bite out of my butt, and thank goodness I was wearing thick denim jeans because who knows what would have happened, but the goat takes a chunk out of my denim jeans. It looks all normal from the front, and then you see the back of me, and there's a hole on the like butt of my jeans, and you can see my bright purple underwear poking through, but there's just a chunk of my jean that's missing, and it's in the goat's mouth. As soon as the goat has my jeans, he walks away and leaves me alone. But looking back on it, it's so incredibly funny to me, but in the moment, I was just like stunned, like what just happened? My best friend is laughing hysterically. I'm laughing, but also like crying in fear. It's one of those things, because I didn't know if the goat was like not gonna be satisfied with the chunk of jeans that he just took from me and like come running back. We leave the pen. forget the food containers because like holy cow, a goat just chased me and like it was so funny, but also like what the heck just happened? We run back to all my friends and I tell them all the story and like none of them are believing me. And like the ones who were closest to me, I showed, you know, the hole in my jeans. For the students who barely knew me, they weren't getting to see my purple underwear. So I go back to my bag, I like change my pants, I'm laughing so hard. Everybody can't believe that it happened. Like everybody was like, oh my god, of course it happened to you. And honestly, like of course it happened to me because like literally every weird, bizarre situation that you could ever be put in always happens to me. Like the ones that you never think would be a possibility. Oh no, they are a possibility just for me and only me. But that completes my goat story. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to talk to me about the goat story, leave some comments down below and we can like get a discussion going. If any of you have been bitten on the butt by a goat, let me know. We can maybe like start a support group or something fun like that. If you guys liked this story time video and you want to see more from me, like I said, please let me know by giving this video a thumbs up and also just letting me know in the comments down below. Please subscribe, help me get to 2,000. It would mean the world to me. Follow me on all my social media networks. Links are always in the down bar below. I hope you guys are having an awesome day, night, afternoon, whenever you guys are watching this, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Okay, bye guys!